Welcome back, everybody, to the Presser Pod. We're back and we're very excited this morning to be joined by two special guests, Annie and Bev from the Ashburton Bowls Club. Welcome to you both.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
It's great that you're in. We're going to talk all things lawn bowls today, but more specifically Ashburton. And Bodie and I are going to have a bit of a chat about some of the great things about your club. Anyone who's involved in grassroots sport knows the importance of clubs. Now, before we get into it, I would like to hear a little bit, and our listeners to hear a little bit about you too. So maybe, Bev, if you can kick us off, tell us how you arrived at Ashburton, what your role is, and how long you've been there.
Well, I've always been a person involved in sport, and having injured my knee playing tennis, I started to think, well, maybe it's the time to move into something else. So my husband and I moved into a bowling club, initially another one from Ashburton, but we subsequently joined Ashburton, and that was the end of 2016, and I have been involved all the time since then. Unfortunately, my husband passed a couple of years ago. So bowls has subsequently become a very important aspect of my life.
Fantastic. Annie?
I was a member at the Ashburton swimming pool, and there were a couple of girls there that I swam with who coerced me into going over and having a go. And we used to play every Wednesday night social bowls, and I just really enjoyed the company and learning how to bowl, and that was probably 16 years ago, and I really enjoyed, and I'm involved, I'm with volunteering and helping out with the club, and it's just nice.
Yep. Fantastic.
Both Annie and I are involved in the committee.
Yes,
well,
we are.
And that's the reason why we're here today as well. And yes, so we're involved in a lot of things together.
Yeah.
We appreciate you giving up your time. And as I said, anyone involved in grassroots sport of any kind understands the volunteers and the fact that the club actually doesn't exist without the volunteers. So hats off to you two for your ongoing involvement. I know it's important to you both, but the club obviously has two great people and many other great people, and we'll come back to that in a minute. But I wanted to start our discussion talking about your vision, I suppose, and I've been having a look. I've been down to the club. It's a beautiful club, and I met some great people, including you guys a couple of weeks ago. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on this vision. So the vision is everybody belongs at Ashburton Bowls. Now, that's competitive bowls, social bowls, and the community aspect of bowls. Talk to me about what a sense of belonging means to you guys and how important that is for Ashburton.
I think belonging to any community is really important for a number of reasons. But if we target in being part of Ashburton and belonging, well, clearly it's about playing the sport, and in playing the sport, you develop friendships, you're working together to achieve aims, winning, competing. But along the line, there's the other social component where you have drinks together, and because you're playing a number of times a week, you really develop a sense of belonging, community. And it's really important, well, especially for people who have retired, it's a sense of well-being that you get from being with other people, playing a healthy sport, being out in the fresh air.
Correct. And you're not just at Ashburton, you're meeting other people. Like it's a network. You're travelling to other bowls clubs, they're coming to you to play. And so you're meeting a diverse community, aren't we, really?
Yeah, and
it's great, it's good.
The belonging and sense of community extends outside the club, as you indicated, because we move into the barefoot bowls, the functions, those sorts of things that are part of our club as well. It's part of the community. We're part of a whole range of networks in the community.
No, it's and you could be having a dreary day and you think, I'll just go up to the club and sit down or do something, have a drink with someone, or it's just a nice atmosphere, and you feel very welcome all the time.
And you can go for a roll up at any time.
Anytime you like,
wish, providing the greens are open.
Yeah, that's exactly
And
right.
during winter time, it's especially good with the indoor bowls because when it's dreary, we're there playing.
The indoor carpet bowls have it's really been a success because, as Bev said, the greens are closed, and it's just, I don't know, we get quite a few people there. We have a soup and a roll in the afternoon tea time, and it's just good fun. And you're inside, but you're communicating, and it's just really nice.
Yeah. You said, Bev, it's at the end of the day, it's about the sport. Now, I want to challenge you here a little bit, because for me, I'm involved in grassroots sport, and it's about the sport, but it's actually not. And I'm interested in this. You two go back to the club, and you love your club. I get the sense for the sense of community, and because you feel like you belong to something, and it's like the bowling's sort of secondary to that. I think that's important. So one of the reasons we're talking to you is because we want to change the perception that bowls is for a specific demographic. I know it's not. I've been to your club. I've been to many clubs. I've played bowls socially, and it's a brilliant sport, and it's great because there's different formats. You can have a beer, drink responsibly, but you can have a beer, hang out with your friends, as you said, year-round, indoor, outdoor. There's all these elements to it. But do you guys go back ultimately because it's part of your life now that's sort of linked forever through the connection? It's sort of less about the bowls almost?
Oh, the bowls are very important to me, and I like to win, but as does Bev. But I think... it's part of my life now, and I work around it for, to play pennant and things like that, because I'm only working one day a week. It's not a big deal, but, you still have to, I have a husband who doesn't play bowls, so, you have to be careful, but it's part of who I am, I suppose, really.
Yeah.
Well, I definitely joined because of sport, because that was in my nature, in my past. But being part of a club, to me, has become very important, particularly since I'm on my own now. And the friendships and the support that people are given at various times in their life is really important.
Yeah, great. Great to hear your perspective. Bo, do you want to chat about community a little bit?
Yeah, so you've obviously touched on it, that sport is a connection to community, and connection to people is probably the big one that's been kind of floated. But you mentioned previously the functions and stuff that the club does, and I guess that's just growing the community. So there's on the screen we can see the functions in the schools program that the club runs, and there's that to grow the community and showcase, I guess, what the club's about to that vaster demographic of people, and to expose bowls to younger people, or to people that you've mentioned all abilities are fair and that kind of stuff. So yeah, just to talk about that community piece and how the club, I guess, positions themselves in the community around Ashburton, and the things that the clubs do through hiring functions in schools.
Well, we also have to recognise that the actual facility is a community facility, and in this day and age it's something that a whole range of people can be utilising. So barefoot bowls is clearly one of those areas where a lot of younger folk are interested in involving themselves, along with families, and it's something that can be enjoyed over a smaller length of time. It can be enjoyed Fridays, it can be enjoyed Sundays, whenever the club is actually offering that sort of situation. Functions, open to the community again. It creates that network. We've had under 18 parties, one just recently, weddings, wakes, just a whole range
Huge
of
range, yeah.
sort of party, social situation. And it's a way of introducing people to what bowls can be about. A lot of people have got very strange perceptions of lawn bowls, which have been created by various advertising in the past and attitudes of the past.
I think that one that's kind of was my first connection to the lawn bowls was through school programs and that kind of thing. And I think that I guess getting like young kids through primary school or high school, getting them through the door and I guess experiencing bowls for the first time is a way to change that perception. So the club does stuff with schools, and is that
absolutely really important to have students into schools, and it's an area that I think really needs a lot of development. But Ashburton clearly is involved in having kids into the place. They're coached, they're showing the fundamentals, they're showing it can be fun, and some of these sessions are ongoing, of course, over 2 weeks or term or whatever. But it's an area that could be grown a lot further through school competitions if schools would come on board a lot more.
Can you give the people listening, if they wanted to hire the facilities or they wanted to reach out, is the website the best place to do that? Or what's the best way people can reach out and they can get themselves into the club?
That's one place, but probably contact through the club, through to the president perhaps,
and
or secretary of the club.
Leave a message and we get back to them.
Yep.
But it's easy as, but website, yes. But,
okay.
It's just ring and then go up, have a chat, walk through the place as you've seen. It's great facilities, the kitchen, everything. You can have your functions catered for, or just bring your own.
You can have food trucks come along.
Food trucks, all sorts of things. Yeah, it's very diverse. It's not tunnel vision. It's what you whoever's hiring. It's what you want. If we can do that, we will.
Yeah, and it comes down to the function rooms. So it can be the large expanse, or it can be smaller conference rooms.
Yes, that's right. Conferences. Yep.
It can just be hiring outside as well.
So it's
great.
It's flexible.
It is very flexible.
Excellent. We'll come back to becoming a member later on, but for anyone listening, the website, you've got a great website, and I had a look through your website when I was at the club a couple of weeks ago, and there's lots of great information. So if you're looking to reach out and you'd rather sort of contact via that method instead of going down to the club, by all means go to the club, but you can find the details on the website. Yeah. You've sort of mentioned barefoot bowls, and I wanted to touch on this in a little bit more depth because for me this is such a great initiative, and it's sort of, it's grown in popularity over recent years. But tell me how important barefoot bowls has been at your club, and what would you say to people thinking about coming down to the club or giving bowls a try? Why would barefoot bowls be something they should have a go at?
Barefoot bowls is fun.
Yeah, exactly. and I mean, what do you need? We supply everything. You've just got to bring yourself along, and there'll be someone there to help you with the technicalities of it all.
And it's good for families.
Yes, families love it. I mean, even tiny ones, and they have, we have smaller bowls for the tiddlywinks, and it's just really, it covers everything from tiny to whatever age, really.
Yeah, it's really good for businesses to have fun with.
Yes, they have Christmas parties and
at various times. And it's great during, summer times, around twilight times, etc., when the weather's really nice. It's lovely.
Yeah, nice summer's night. You come down. So I was thinking Friday night, drinks after work, instead of going to the pub, you go down to the bowls club.
Drinks are much
prices.
cheaper.
Drinks are cheaper. It's a friendly environment. You get to do some bowling. Like, what could be better than that? On a
Barbecue.
summer's night.
Yes, barbecue.
Oh, you've sold me. You've sold
well,
me.
Please come along and join us.
I'll be
Yeah,
there,
well,
Annie. Don't you worry.
We're looking forward to that.
I'm round the
Yes.
corner here, so
Yeah.
I'll be
well,
down
you
there.
go. But it's just, like the age group for the barefoot bowlers. So you can be 101 and still play barefoot bowl.
Absolutely.
I think that's the best thing about what you've mentioned is how accessible it is. Like, I think that people, the misnomer about bowls is that it's for the older demographic, but
Yeah.
Something like Barefoot Bowls is an initiative that showcases that it's really a very accessible sport, and I think that that's something that's forgotten, and I think that Barefoot Bowls is such a great initiative to.
It's really great actually because especially the guys, they get so competitive, it's really, they really enjoy it, don't they, for a couple of hours,
Yeah.
cheap couple of hours, really.
Yeah, fantastic. Your sponsors are so important to helping the club, open the doors, getting behind the community. So local, obviously, businesses getting behind the club and supporting the club financially, but also creating that connection to community. Bev, do you maybe want to just tell us, I've got a few of your sponsors up here, and I know you've got a couple of new ones coming on board soon. But talk to me about the importance of the sponsors who've looked after you, potentially for a number of years, and what that means to the club, and also what the sponsors get in return from being involved.
Well, sponsors are important because there is that financial backing that can support things like competitions and so forth. But it really is about community networking too. So that connection of the name of a sponsor is seen around the club, and we have visitors coming into the club. We have lots of other teams coming into the club. So it's having the name up there is really important for the sponsor, and we have a number of different ways that their name is going to be put out into the community. Social media is clearly going to be important, and our internet. And of course the members themselves talk to other people about the sponsors.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the feedback and utilising, using those people.
Yeah.
Bendigo Bank has been a
Yeah.
stalwart,
Long
Yeah.
time.
and they're a community banking thing, and that they are giving out to the community, so that's really been important. But all the other sponsors are important and contribute to our club in lots and lots
And
of
they
ways.
get business out of, they sponsor us, and
Yep.
that's fantastic. And hopefully they get, we go to the local butchers or the Bendigo Bank, and
Yeah.
that's the feedback, isn't it, really? or
Absolutely.
payback.
Yeah, and we do have more sponsors that we can add to the list ultimately.
Yes, that's
We've got
times 5.
Times 5 coming online.
Jim's Mowing.
And Jim's Mowing has become a
Fantastic.
very
It's
important
great,
sponsor. We
yeah.
just need a few more of their details
Yes,
to add to the visuals.
Yeah, great. Yeah, we can talk about that in another. We'll get you back in. To anyone out there listening who's interested in connecting with the community, helping grassroots, adding to that sense of belonging and being part of a great club at Ashburton Bowls, please reach out again via the website, or you can come on down to the club. But I know that the club would love to have some other sponsors on board, so please, if you're listening, reach out. One of the other things I wanted to mention was the coaching element. So we've talked about the perception of bowls, and that, historically it's been seen as a sport for maybe a specific demographic through various narratives that have been, put out in the world over many, many years. But barefoot bowls is great, socialising's great. Some people want to compete, and particularly some young people are saying, oh, well, I'm a really competitive person. I don't really want to just go and bowl for fun. And let's be honest, barefoot bowls ends up in arguments most weeks because we get very competitive.
Yep.
But talk to me about the coaching aspect. So the club offers coaching. So if people were to come down and have a go at bowls and think, okay, this is a great sport, I really want to improve my skills, they can get coaching and there's opportunity to play high-level bowls. Tell us about that.
Well, yes, coaching is free, and everyone within the club is able to access coaching. You don't just stop at one spot. There are times when you need a little bit of help along the way. That's every member. But people outside the club are more than welcome to be coached and to experience bowls through coaching and social situations. I think that we have a couple of really good specialists in the area who do it, but other members are willing to mentor as well.
That's right. It's not, but I mean, you can organise yourself a coaching session and, once you've come up to the club and, had a few sessions trying it out, try bowls sort of thing, that's when some people, they move on and hopefully we'll get them signed up.
Yeah, membership's really important.
Membership is very...
But I think it's important to recognise the fact that there are different ways of actually playing bowls within the club.
Yeah.
So you can commit yourselves to the competition, or you might prefer just to be playing social bowls.
That's right.
You might like to just spend time having a roll after work or Sundays. But
yes, because if you're a member, you have access when, pretty much whenever you want to go to the green, if the greens are open. And there's always someone there to have a roll up with, you know, and a bit of competitive bowling, isn't there?
And of course, there's the indoor bowls.
Yes, and then there's the indoor bowls.
Yeah, which has been
a
winter feature.
We do keep a carpet down even right through now, so that, those who don't want to play outside, too hot, whatever, can play inside.
Great.
That's good.
So it's
and
there's quite a lot you can do when you think about it.
So in many ways, the club is so much more than just bowls.
Definitely.
There's so much more.
Yeah.
It's more than just.
Yeah.
Members are obviously important. And
Indeed.
ideally you want people to come and have a go at bowling, love it, which I'm guessing that most people do. This is the route they take. They turn up, they feel your sense of belonging, the community link, they love it. How can they join? So can they join socially, Bev, or do they have to join via a full club membership? Or tell us the options so people know about them.
If you're playing pennant
Yep.
and wanting to play pennant, that is a full membership. However, as mentioned earlier, some people are more interested in playing social bowls. That is a different fee. You can also be a social member of the club, so you can come along and have a drink and chat and catch up with friends, and that's a different fee. There's also student membership, which once again is a different fee. All those details are available on the website.
Yes.
Fantastic. On the website, or you can just turn up to the club. Can you give us a bit of an idea of the opening hours? Is there a general time that the club is open each day, or tell us more about that?
Well, during the summer, it's sort of, after lunch till gets dark.
Yeah, or
if you want to.
even earlier. I mean, in terms of using the club,
what the greenkeepers do.
club members can come in. They've got the key to get in whenever they wish.
Yeah.
But there are generally people around the club all day
Yeah,
during open season. But contacting the club is via phone. Of course, during, say, the winter season or the website, you can leave messages. But once again, a number of members are on site, quite a lot.
Yeah. Yes.
And the greenkeeper is often there early in the mornings, working
Because
on the greens.
at our club, the members are doing the gardening and looking after, and I'm sure you noticed how nice it is up there.
It's beautiful.
And then the greenkeeper, he comes on specific days, which I'm not sure of, but there is always someone there pretty much that can help you out, and everyone's willing to help you out.
It's a friendly club.
It is very friendly. Yeah.
One last thing from me. If I was a young person
Mm-hmm.
who listen to this and you'd convince me, you know, to sort of look into bowls a bit more, why should they turn up? You've sort of told us, but if you could say
question.
one thing to a young person considering coming down to the club, what would you say?
I would probably say it's a challenging game that you'll become very interested in playing. It will get you right in. It's a strategic game as well.
Mm-hmm. It is, very much so.
And you said one thing. I think there's probably more than one thing to say. It's not going to break the bank like some sports. And apart from the fees being reasonable to play, initially you have access to bowls that the club has to start you off.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think another thing is that if you join, you should join with a group of friends as well.
Mm.
So you've got your cohort with you.
Yes, yeah. That's how it should work.
Good advice. Annie, do you want to add
Well,
anything?
I can't. No, not really. You covered it all, Bev.
I'm
You've
sure you
done
can
very
add something.
Well. No, but I mean, I agree with you. And quite often, people they do like when you're joining up, you do have a connection there already. Do you know what I mean? Like with me, I was at the pool, and the girls said, "Come over," and rah-de-rah. So you just have that backup. But even if you don't, everybody's so friendly and prepared to help you. And as Bev said, the bowls are there, everything's there. And then when you say, yes, this is for me, you go out and play your own bowls.
And it's inclusive
Inclusive, very much so.
across the whole range of areas of being inclusive.
And it's, you know, like I'm older, but you go to play pennant and there's younger people there and they are really inclusive. You don't feel, I don't know what the word is. It's fine. It's all good.
It's being accepted.
Accepted is,
irrespective.
that's right. That's right. That's the word.
Before we finish up, anything else you want to say about the club? Or have we missed anything that you think's important people should know?
I think we've pretty much covered it all.
Any funny stories you want to fill us in on from
Oh,
the club?
well, we
that,
don't want to go there.
Oh, hang on. So are there stories we can't tell on air, or should we
No,
turn
no.
the cameras off? Or
No, it's all good.
give us the goss. Come on.
No,
Annie.
I don't know any goss.
We'd actually have to think about this
Because
you've
every
just
day
put it on
is-
us. And I think the interesting thing about the club is that there are so many different personalities that you can actually have a bit of a laugh about a whole range of things.
Yeah, we might set up podcast number 2 in a few weeks, and we'll tell stories.
Yeah.
Stories.
Maybe it can be a storytelling. So I'll you guys go away and have a think about. You know, maybe there was a great game, and there was you won or you lost or something happened or
We
a
only
great
talk about the
function
win.
where you had
And he's a very competitive.
I can hear that in her.
She
in
won't
her
even
voice.
let me pick up her bowls.
No.
No.
Oh.
You can't touch Annie's bowls, no.
No, sorry.
No.
I'm glad you've told me that
And-
before I turn up.
And it's
for
got
a
nothing to do with COVID. It's just Annie's bowls. They're hers. Do not touch them. Do not interfere.
I have no idea where it came from, but I just thought, because, as you know, you can put them down a right way and a wrong way with the bars. And I used to think, I just sort of thought, if you hand me that bowl and I put it down on the wrong bars, I'm going to blame you. So that's one of my things. And,
I love it.
I just, and then I don't speak while I'm bowling either,
At all.
if I can avoid it.
We speak to each other about other things.
we do, but like when I'm playing, a lot of people say,
like you're in the
we're not
zone
recording
and-
this now, are we?
Yeah.
We're
Are
in
we?
the-
Oh, yeah.
Oh, because I like, a lot of people say, from the opposition, opposing team, they'll say, oh, good bowl. I never do. I just don't. I can't. Choke. But after the game, I always say, well,
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah,
not
yeah,
during
yeah.
the game. I don't know. It's just one of my things.
No.
Focus, Annie. Focus.
In the zone, Annie. I love that. It's
But I
been
have some terrible days also. Mm-hmm.
Don't tell us about those.
No.
It's been a lovely chat. It's been great to hear how much you love the club and what the club means to you guys. I think it sounds like a fantastic community place to go and belong and feel included and accepted and supported. And we'll certainly be down at some point over the summer. I'll bring the students down and we'll have a roll with you guys. And
Yes, we'd love that.
we'd love to have you back in a few weeks, as I said, and we can do a bit of storytelling about the club and we can hear more about the history.
Yep. We look forward to that.
Yeah, we will.
And just so that you know, our official opening day is September the 14th.
Saturday.
Excellent.
14th.
So
the
we're
greens
not
will
far
be
away.
open.
They'll be open from then until the end of
June.
Oh, till June.
June.
Yeah, end of June. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
We'll be there and we look forward to chatting again. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for
Well,
inviting us.
Thank you very much. It's been great.
It
Thank
has
you.
been fun.